Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Thomasin PA2066. Today is 29th of May 2023. I would like to continue a topic on platform. This particular video taking would be an important milestone for me, as in explaining the competition and also the potential threat to the platform that I am building. Let me begin. Video taking 157. Barriers in platform. Defending platform. I'm Thomasin PA2066. Today is 29th of May 2023. So this is an important video recording for my experience sharing on the part of problem and the issues faced in developing a platform. So this is really on the ground combating tactical aspect of working on the platform. If you are a designer of a platform, then you would probably learn a lot from this sharing. So my intention of doing sharing on defending a platform is, in fact, as a startup, you face a lot of rejection and a lot of question about why should this platform be able to scale higher. So this part, a lot of people ask, why should I support your platform? Why should customers actually support your platform? So this part also, the other aspect is the partners in the business. They would always question, why do you want to do this platform, and what is the potential and the future success of this platform? So one of the major consideration is the part that I'm not going to join you if your platform is going to fail. So if you are going to fail, why should I put effort and time in a partnership with somebody who is going to fail? So this is a major discussion, and I think this is the most important takeaway for my work on all the platforms that I have done for 5 years. Let me begin. In a glance, we are able to see there are different types of platform. This one I have gone through in more detail in the last video on what is in a platform. So now I am not going to go through, but the aspect that we are looking at is a platform actually of many types, and depending on your strategy and your market model, a business model, you can be classified under one of these types of classification, the types of platform business model. So we are in the more to retail platform now, more to types of social media platform, rather than into payment gateway or into more technical apps development platform. Now we are more of a community user type of a platform. So on the part that we need to understand the different forces and the interaction of our customers as well as the producers, this particular schematic description I have gone through also in more detail in a previous video, would be able maybe to give us a starting point on how to discuss the competition among the various forces. So of course we will have one producer on one end, another one is the user. So in my part of looking at competition, the producer here would be the types of salesperson or the types of service specialists. Or in an example, it would be a financial planner or a maybe mechanic or a plumber. So the other side is the user, is the mass public or people who are looking for those businesses. So that means they have issues, they need solution. So if you have a clock brand or you have a investment issues, you would want to look for somebody who can provide that service. So this part, we have the two bar coming up. So this is the basis of our discussion in the next few slides. Okay, with this background information, we move on to the key discussion area on competition and how to defend the platform. We want to understand the platform and to have a scope of discussion under this terminology of platform. Platform is about product and services that brings together groups of users in two-sided network. So we are looking at how we do the platform can provide infrastructures and provide marketing packages as well as rules that can facilitate the interaction between the two sides. One side is the producer, another side is the mass public. Okay, this schematic where I go through again, we are discussing the potential challenges and threat to a platform, which can be due to the two groups of people in the platform as well as other external threats to the platform in this discussion. So it is a chicken or egg thing in platform growth or platform evolution. We can say that if you want to monetize your platform, is it the platform should based on its major customer base, in this case the user who are the public. If you have a lot of users, then you have a lot of potential to sell your product or services to the public. So if you do not have user, then nobody is going to list the item into platform. So this discussion also points to, on the other aspect, if you do not have product on sale, then there will be no visitor coming in. So which one is the first to start? Is the people who are coming into the website more important, or is the producer or is the supplier or seller that is to put up the item for sale, is this more important? So this is a chicken or egg question. So in a lot of platform, they have to really identify which side are they taking, as in the case whether it's the producer side or is it the user side. So what are the good point and the not so good things about relying on one side. Of course, you want the both side to scale up eventually, and this is the biggest challenge in a platform. Let us look at the producer versus the users in a chicken or egg situation for Finehui. For Finehui, starting the platform Finehui, which is the driver of the platform. Of course, we are talking about the platform being a stage where you bring in customers, but at the same time you have one group of seller that put out items for sale and services for sale, so that the users of the platform can benefit. So as in moving forward, if you actually have a good combination of producer and the user, you eventually scale up. That eventually your producer side would gain in number, and the user side would also scale up in huge numbers. So in this case, eventually you have a winner take all scenario. So you can see in the worldwide scenario of competition between two platforms, eventually one platform survive and the other platform actually being bought or being excluded from the playing battle, from the battlefield. So this means to say some platforms would fail because of the producer crossing to another platform. That means they have competing platform that producers would move to another platform. Take the example of a real estate. You have a few listing portals. You have, let's say, ABC listing portals, and then one new listing portal coming in. And this listing portal coming in is offering free advertisement, free listing to all the customers. So therefore, the existing platforms will feel the pressure to offer or to come down to the cost comparison or the cost competition. So this means that producers, their negotiators, their estate agents will move the advertisement to the new platform. So this is making the platforms cost strict. That means they won't have a lot of revenue as the incoming competitor is really subsidizing the producers. So instead of charging the advertisement fee, the producers are putting up free advertisement. So in such a scenario of competition, eventually the all platforms, all the other platforms would suffer and not able to scale up. So this, they call it envelopment. So envelopment, as in the term, describes the platform being taken over. So sometimes the envelopment can happen in the case of multiple numbers of network within the same platform. So let's say you have a few people using the same platform, but then later on one sector become more prominent, then that sector actually take over the whole platform. So they actually detach from the platform and enter to another new entity. So this is called envelopment. You also have this intermediation as a threat, being that the estate agency practice, let's say one day that the estate agent's own platform, own company website become the preferred choice of the advertisement, then all the agents would use their own platform. That means they won't use the third party iProperty, they won't use Mudah.my, they use their own agency website. So this means they do away with the platform. So it's actually this intermediation. So example of this I can give again is, let's say you use a platform to get to your workers. You need to have workers for your hotels as a cleaners. So now you go to a cleaners company or cleaners platform. Then eventually you realize that you already know the main person in sourcing for the cleaning service. Then you end up directly deal with the company that source for the cleaners. So you do away with the platform. So this is an example of this intermediation. So of course there will be other threats, like you have a platform and your producers are not putting anything. That means the producers are sleeping, so they are not doing anything. So you have inactive producers, and therefore you don't have new renewable information in the platform. Your user base on the receiving end, the end users would not see any purpose of coming to the platform anymore. And of times also you have obsolete type of content. Let's say you are doing some platform on the part of related to event, and later on due to MCO, due to all these economic happening, that particular event is already no more or obsolete, then there will be no attraction to new users coming into your platform. So these are reasons that we need to discuss for profit driver, as in Findway.info. It would be on the agent and the service specialist producer side, because they are the people who want to promote their services and to promote their profiles to attract demand for their services. So you cannot be expecting revenue from the user. So users, they not expected to pay anything. They need the information, and then at the end the person that you offer the skill and offer the business will eventually make money out of their services and pay for the platform. So this is the model that we are looking at for Findway.info. So agent and service providers actually pay a fee to advertise their profiles in Findway.info, and we hope that the Findway.info can have a B2B as well as a B2C, as I explained in the earlier video taking. So agent A working with agent B as a core agency, or agent A works with the plumber to refer plumbing solution to end customer. So it can be B2B as well as B2C. So we are looking at the possible threat and how the website platform is to defend. So we are worried about the main two issues. Actually two issues. One is the customer turning away, one is the producer turning away. So if you have a reason to think about, then this platform may be subjected to these two major threats. That means if you go and talk to a customer or a user, they say no need lah, I don't need this platform because I can contact my agent immediately by I know my agent, and I know my plumber, I know my electrician. Then the other side is the producer turning away, the negotiator or the plumbing specialist or the electrician saying that they do not need the service of advertising for themselves because they know the better way to get to their customer. So these are the two potentially important issues to look at. So if your consideration is that the website should grow, then these are the two major issues that this platform must address. Although there can be legal issues and price war. Of course, price war is linked to this issue. If Finehui is an expensive advertising outlet, that means you have a potential for a new platform that can cannibalize on this revenue and therefore the threat to Finehui. So we group the threat into three aspects. These three aspects actually happens not just for Finehui, but it works alongside with also other types of platform. So first is the weak network effect. So this is weak network means that new users will not come in, or a new producer will not come in because you do not see the potential of getting revenue on this part. That means your growth of the platform cannot attract user or cannot attract producer. So this is a big issue on content. So if your content is not attractive, you don't have a storyline, then this part of the network effect is not able to amplify. Second is clustering network. That means if your network has an independent cluster. For example, for issue of Finehui.info, if let's say we have one very estate agent on the case of one local location, very successful in Kuching, then later on this Kuching part because it's been successful and the rest of the state or the rest of the country does not actually grow as in tandem, then the Kuching one may eventually evolve to become just for Kuching alone. It become an independent cluster. So it actually go away from the main ideology of the bigger group into a smaller subgroup. So this subgroup detach away from the main group. So this is the threat to the platform, because the platform suddenly has a major chunk or maybe more than half of the major players or major users actually detach away from the platform. The third one is the intermediation. This intermediation means bypassing the platform, as I've explained just now. The threat is now you have a direct deal from the case of the cleaner company to source for cleaners for the hotel. Let's for that example. So another example I would think of for Finehui would be eventually the developer themselves go direct to the customer or the buyers without going through the agency. So the developer sells direct to the buyers with their own developer platform. So therefore you actually bypass the third-party platform. So that means it's actually this intermediate. There is no intermediate role in this platform anymore. So these are the three major issues faced by competition and defending the platform.